Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Tuesday, November the 14th, 2023. Tuesday, November the 14th. Yeah, not that much happened today. Okay. I want some more cliffhanger stuff, some more cliffhanger stuff. But anyway, I've got my camera changing colors here. I have some new lights in my area here, and I think they're causing a little disgrace. Anyway, whatever. Let me get to it. We have Laura comes over to talk to Valentine about what Charlotte told her. She was surprised that Nina was there, but Valentine says no. Nina is up on everything. Look, she even obstructed justice by deleting the camera footage in the hotel of Charlotte going into Anna's room to vandalize it. And Laura's like, oh, okay, well, look, you good, girl. Now, this is the mayor, mind you. See, Laura, as long as her family is involved, she'll say, look, I'm getting ready to turn my back. You go ahead and do what you got to do, right? And I'm going to count to four, you know. And then when she turn around, she act like you didn't do nothing. Don't please. So anyway, she says, okay. And she tells him how Charlotte is terrified for Valentine's safety. And she honestly feels that she's has to run Anna out of town. Laura said, no, she's trying to run her out of town. Okay, because of Victor. And she tells him what Charlotte said. And she says, Charlotte said he also wrote her a letter. But yeah, oh, he had access to her and he would come to see her when she was, in that boarding school. And Valentine said, I thought I did the right thing by sending her there. And Laura says, well, we all did. That with the information we had at the time. I'm sorry. Is there some kind of time lapse? Victor kidnapped Charlotte and put her in, not kidnapped her. Well, yeah, kidnapped her and put her in the boarding school. Valentine had been shot by, was it Peter August? Or was this the time that Victor had him abducted, his own son, and then they like alcohol poisoned him and poured it all over him to make it seem like he was drunk so people would walk by him. And by the time he got help, he was really, really sick. Okay. Victor took her away then. And then when Valentine got better, Victor says, oh, she's fine. She's in a great school. She has her horses. She's winning equestrian championships. He goes, I want to go see my daughter. He goes, oh, no, that won't be possible. I am the only one who has access to Charlotte. Even though Nina had the address of the boarding school and so did Laura. Valentine did not let anyone know that Victor pretty much was holding her hostage to get him to do whatever he wanted him to do, right? So nobody knew there was a situation. And that was all because of Valentine. All because of Valentine. But you know what? We're not going to go in on all his long list of things he does wrong. So anyway, he says, oh my God, Victor has weaponized my daughter. And so he gets up and he goes in the Charlotte's room and he tears that room up looking for the letter. And then he sees this big old book under this little thin horse book. And he goes over and he picks the book up and he opens it. It's a hollow book. And it has those tarot cards and it has that letter that he wrote her. So he started reading some of it in the room, but then he takes it out to Laura. And Laura puts on her reading glasses and proceeds to read the whole thing, right? And, it's pretty in depth. Yep, he pretty much, them, and we don't know what them tarot cards were also saying to her and doing, a number was put on that impressionable teenager, which was, we know that is true, right? we've got all kind of people activated and brainwashed on General Hospital. But Nina's like, see, Valentine, she did it. She was doing it. My camera, come on, focus. She was doing it to protect you. See? Like, it's okay now. So Laura read the whole thing and he goes, no, I know. But then here's the thing. Valentine says, I want to talk to Charlotte about this. Oh no, we need to get Kevin in here to talk to her. And so Laura's like, yeah, but maybe, you know what? We probably need to let Charlotte rest and kind of calm down. And then she goes, she's really fearful of Anna. She thinks Anna shot her on purpose and she wants Anna arrested. Now, how's that going to work, Charlotte, honey? You broke into her house with the intent of vandalizing it, just like you vandalized her other place. How you gonna press charge? See, they have never confronted her and told them they know the truth. So now she could make all these demands, but if she knew, they knew what she was up to. I'm sorry, Papa. I'm sorry, but I didn't ruin any of your clothes when I vandalized the hotel room. None of your stuff was done. And when I burned down her house, if in fact she burned down our house, we don't know, right? Because, you know, they never said you burned down Anna's house. We would see her reaction to that, even though Charlotte lies like the back of her hand, right? So anyway, we'll see. But bottom line, they're letting Charlotte be a little too unsupervised. Because I'm sorry, that girl's a flight risk. Even though she was shot and in the real world will still be laid up on a bed, she running around with the hospital IV. She'll be sneaking out the hospital next week, trying to finish the job. Yeah, see, I don't know. Hey, so anyway, we'll see, but they're still doing the wrong thing. They need to bring Anna in. I'm sorry. Bring Anna in on this. Have Anna see Victor's letter. Anna knows all the cryptic stuff Victor was sending other people, and some, I forget what cryptic message he had for her at the reading of the will, you know? So then we have Carly. She goes to see Sonny, and she asked him, okay, what's going on? I'm here to see you about Nina. And he's like, what about Nina? He goes, why is she trying to sell me her half of the Metro, sell me back my half of the Metro Court? He goes, well, that's the first time I've heard about that. She goes, really? She didn't talk to you about it? He goes, well, we don't discuss each of our businesses with each other. We really don't. And with Charlotte being shot, got my little blind dog. I keep looking because she's standing there looking at a wall. She's trying to figure out how to go down the hallway because I kind of have a door I'm gonna have to go take care of her in a minute. But anyway, so he says she's been dealing with Charlotte. She was at the hospital all night, and I really didn't see her this morning. She goes, well, why would she want to do that, Sonny? She goes, I don't know. Why did she say? Well, she said she's too busy, you know, with running both. And he goes, well, maybe that's true. Now that Charlotte's been shot, maybe that was a wake-up call for her. She wants to spend more time with Wiley and Amelia, and you know, and with and now she's got a lot on her plate. And now with Charlotte, maybe that's true. She goes, I don't know, Sonny. Something else is up, and I'm gonna find out. And then he goes, hey, I don't know. So then she goes, but you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe it is. She just wants to have more time. And so she says, but look, now that I have Kelly's, for one, I would have to figure out how to get financing for my half of the Metro Court to buy it back. And he goes, well, I can always, don't say it, Sonny. She's like, don't say it. Don't you dare offer. He goes, well, she's like, don't you, could always, Sonny, help you out. He made sure he said it anyway. And I'm sorry, everybody, that's how Carly got herself in a hot mess to begin with. She should have let Sonny pay for that Metro Court for her. She should have. Nina never would have. All her back and forth. Actually, she should have let Olivia, period. But hindsight. How long? How long? So anyway, she goes, well, you know what? He goes, okay, but let's say you do get the financing. She goes, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He's like, what do you mean you don't know what you're gonna do? I'm really loving what I'm doing with Kelly's. He goes, but that's no comparison to the Metro Court. She said, Sonny, my mother sold me Kelly's. Really, she pretty much said my mother gave me Kelly's. My mother gave me Kelly's when I was in a really bad way. And I have gone in there and just made some real positive improvements to that, to Kelly's. My mom's still out of town dealing with his final affairs with Tracy. And if I go back to the Metro Court, I don't want her to have to leave her in a lurch. And now she's having to wonder what she's going to do with Kelly's. And so Sonny said, Carly, it's Kelly's. Hire a good manager for it. That's all you got to do. And she goes, no, but it won't be the same. He goes, look, there's no comparison if you ask me. And she goes, well, it is. It is. I would have to make, I don't know what choice I'm going to make. I don't know. And that would be interesting if Carly did go on and decide she was going to stay at Kelly's. Now, if they decide to truly write out Bobby Spencer, I'll bet you Carly will stay at Kelly's. But see, truth be told, Kelly's has had so many different managers over the years. Like Sonny said, hire a manager to run Kelly's. She could pop in and out every day if she wanted to, right? She really could. The Metro Court is not far away from Kelly's. So we'll see what Carly's going to do. I'm interested to see what she's going to do. And then we have this storyline that they're throwing in out of nowhere, everybody. Finn is being sued for malpractice. Some patient's husband died months ago or a few months ago, and they're suing the hospital and Finn for negligence. And he is just blindsided by it. He was like, wait, what? He had no idea that this could be happening or why, and because he didn't do anything wrong. The patient just didn't make it. So we'll see where they're going to go with that storyline, but it's going to be boring for me. I will fast forward most of that. And last but not least, we have Cyrus. Cyrus is busy. First and foremost, Dante comes to question Austin. And he's telling him there's a lot of evidence mounting against him that him and Mason were working together. And he goes, I do not work with my cousin. And he goes, well, we've got plenty of records of where Mason was bringing in patients to the ER and you were taking care of them. Now, mind you, there's no record of these patients in the hospital system. So they weren't even being charged for being taken care of. And Austin is just looking. He goes, that's criminal within itself. He said, well, he goes, charges can be brought against you for that. And there's other evidence mounting. And he goes, and quite frankly, Austin, Mason is not smart enough to be the mastermind at all for this. So now Cyrus is in. He talked to the guard, had his little Bible. Oh, the guard's a believer too. Okay, Cyrus. So he comes in and he's talking to Mason, and he's telling Mason, pretty much, you did what you weren't supposed to do. You did what I told you not to do, and now look at this mess you're in. And so Mason says, well, I have it all figured out. I'm getting ready to blame Austin. And Cyrus is just looking at him. He goes, yep, Austin is the mastermind. Because, see, I'm not smart enough to come up with this all on my own. But my cousin, who's the smart doctor, I did everything for him. He told me to kidnap Ava, so I kidnapped Abby. I follow his orders. He goes, your name will never come up, boss. And so Cyrus stands up and looks down at him and he goes, you really thought this through, didn't you? That's a pretty good plan. Mason's like, yep, it works for me. I'm going to cut a deal. I'm going to pin it all on Austin. And so Cyrus says, well, you know what? It is a good plan, but it don't work for me. And Mason looks at him. He says, Cyrus says, I have plans for Austin. See, I need to be able to call upon him when I need certain things done. Because he's got specialty. So, like, look, I sent him to medical school. See, you screwed up, idiot. And he goes, besides, I do not want Austin paying for your mistake. He said, now, what do you remember what I told you when I came in here last time? And then they had a flashback of what Mason remembering what Cyrus told him. He said, now, this was going to happen. You're going to say nothing. You're going to go to prison for your mistake. I'm going to have you well protected in prison. He goes, you're actually going to live a pretty comfortable life there. He says, and who knows? You might be out walking free sooner than you think, like kind of like me, right? And Mason says, oh, so I'm not good enough to stay out of prison. You want to keep my cousin out of prison. And Cyrus says, that's what he said, it's your mistake. And you either do as you're told and live a pretty comfortable life there in Pittenville, or you don't. And he just looks at him and walks out. So then Austin walks by the nurse's station because Dante's finished with him. And the nurse says, oh, Dr. Gatlin Holt here, there's a message for you. And it's this note. He opens up this envelope and he sees this note. And he looks over at Cyrus. And Cyrus is walking and he's looking at him like, mm-hmm. See, you on a tightrope too, buddy. Don't you make no mistakes. And then Cyrus winks at him and walks in the elevator. See, Austin is getting it from every angle. Look, he need to just get out of Dodge. But Cyrus would probably find him if he tried to get out of Dodge, right? But look, things aren't going too well for him. And I don't feel sorry for him. Now we have Trina. Trina talks to Ava, about the Spencer situation. And Ava gives her advice, and Ava ends up telling her to talk to Spencer because Trina's ghosting him. She goes, I ain't got time to speak to him. Spencer decides he's going to Esme's work, telling her that she and him are a team where Ace is concerned, and they make a good team. It's like they're a family. And he says, it's just not a romantic. There's not a romantic, nothing going on between us. But we could make a good family home. And she goes, and you know what? How's that supposed to work, Spencer? Just me, you taking care of Ace, right? She goes, what, you gonna get us a place? Because he goes, I have money, Esme. I have enough money that you don't even have to work this job. You don't. I could take care of you and Ace. And so she looked at him, she goes, no, it's best for me and my son to get away from you. And he's like, and what's that supposed to mean? She goes, you know what, Spencer? She goes, how is that really supposed to work? are you going to get a place, a place for four? And he goes, what do you mean four? Me, Ace, you, and Trina. She goes, and how's that really supposed to work? She said, now you're free to see whoever you want to see. I may want to have a life of my own too. Because he goes, you're not thinking about Ace. She goes, no, no, no. I am thinking about my son. And my son and I need to get our own place. She says, but down the road, I may want a relationship with someone. She's saying, so I guess I am thinking about me too. And that does not include you. She said, because that would be putting my life on hold. If I just stay at your grandmother's house with my son, I'm putting my life on hold. And I want to have a life. And Spencer just looks at her. She goes, so now that that's all been said, I have got to get back to work. As she walks away. See, she's pushing the envelope for Spencer to make it more. See, she ain't stupid. She knows exactly what he's doing. And she knows she's pulling away just enough and he's coming. Every 2 steps she's pulling away now, he's taking one in closer. See, Esme she's still smart. Smart as she want to be. So anyway, that's pretty much that happens. And Ava convinces her to answer Spencer's text and tell him exactly what she told Ava. She says, Trina, just tell him everything you feel. And listen to him. Let him tell you how he truly feels. So she goes, okay. She goes, I knew I could come to you and you could give me some really good advice. Because look, if she go to Jocelyn, she gonna get Jocelyn's side of advice. And if she go to her mama, she's gonna get her mama's side of advice. So Portia, I would never talk to her. So let's go to comment corner. I am going to start my trusty dusty stop watch and see how far I can go. NK Rose says Willow is miles away a better parent than half of the adults on the show. And NK Rose also says, I wonder if GH kept the scab writers. And Denzel says, I doubt it since the strike was over in September. NK Rose says to Denzel, the payoff for storyline seems way faster than with the union writers. I know the stories moved faster, and I really liked the way they were moving. And then NK Rose said, screw peace. Uh-oh, screw what kind of peace? And Linda says, you are so right. The truth needs to come out. Oh, talking about Olivia. Get out of here, Olivia. Jackie says, Miss Wu had Curtis shot. Denzel says, how do you know Miss Wu shot Curtis? And then Jackie says, she has motive, just a guess. And Pete Merle says, I think she may have done it too. She wants the Savoy. Sonny and Anna have been there for a while. No shooting until Curtis showed up. And then Ron says, GH is starting to search these storylines out again. Wait, stretch these storylines out again. Time to move on. I know. Lucy says, great GH recap. And start a new week in Port Charles. I don't blame Ned Quartermain for wanting to clear his name, but is that really relevant? Yes, who cares? Ned wants to save ELQ from Aurora. It is relevant. And I'm with Ned. Scanonafo says, they are so heavy-handed with Wiley's love for Nina. And Olivia saying Sonny is happier than she's ever seen him. Soon, Morgan will be back from the dead to say to Nina that she was the best mom he ever had. Pete Merrill says, okay, you lost me when Nina and Morgan came in. Morgan would never discard it like that. And then DD says, so much for Carly's BFF and son. She's better off reading Harmony's lips. Lisa says to Pete Merle, they are making a joke, lol. Um, Makes me sick that Wiley is so attached to Nina. But it's about to change. Wiley won't understand why suddenly Nina is not around. And then Scanonifo says to Lisa, it feels that way things are going, they will have Wiley act out about Nina leaving. Dacia says, I'm so angry with Olivia for not letting Ned clear his name by telling Michael and Drew about uh, what Nina, wait, what Nina was, that Nina was the one that had Martin Gray call the SCC on Carly and Drew. Michelle says, Olivia is not Carly's friend. What best friend would want to help plan a wedding? Another one, plan a wedding, a woman's wedding that messed up her family all the way up. Messed up all the way up. She did Carly wrong when she went to the hospital to check on Ned. She snapped at Carly. Olivia is no friend. And J Girl says, as soon as Ned finds out they are trying to do a hostile takeover, he will tell. Plus, Drew is a hypocrite. He tells Carly to leave it, but wants to take over since he thinks Ned was the snitch. Probably, right? And then Lisa said to Michelle, I agree. Olivia is more worried about Nina's happiness than Carly's. What a friend. Now Nina is going to try to look good by giving the Metro Court back to Carly. Ned won't stay quiet for long. Someone will say something and he will tell what happened. I know he'll get mad and he's going to just say it. He really, and see, the thing is, Olivia's not even thinking because Nina let everybody blame her husband like a scoundrel. Come on, Olivia. That's bad writing. Bad writing. P. Merle says to J Girl, no, Drew told her to stop worrying about who turned them in. He didn't say he was going to roll over and play dead. His ultimate goal is to get ELQ from under Valentine's control. Ned is not a great CEO either. Yeah, I know, huh? And then NK Rose says Ned practically has brain damage. I won't blame Drew and Michael for pushing him out anyway. NK Rose says, I hate to see Jake get roped into Charlotte's nonsense again. And that's exactly what they're doing. DB says GH is making them a group of weirdos. You don't want to play with what you need to stay away from trench coats. I don't quite understand that, DB. Um, Pixie says, I see that Nina approached Carly about selling the MetroCourt. Heck, if it were me, I would not sell anything. The truth will come out about the SCC mess. I'll lose my man and my family, but I'll keep my business and my money. P. Merrill says, yeah, but she doesn't have the heart to come clean and squash Michael's blackmail. Now she's worried about Willow and Sonny finding out. Once again, Nina thinks she should not face the consequences for her actions. I am says Nina is a coward. If uh if not, she would have not have lied and hid her actions. And Richard says, I agree. And then we have Coretta says Drew and Michael trying to push Ned out of ELQ will cause Ned not to want to tell the truth about Nina, probably. Denzel says, and that's the stupid part about it too. But doubt it though, I guess. And then I am says they don't know he's Ned yet, but I agree. I think Ned may tell them to keep them from pushing him out. Linda says, if learning the truth about the SEC doesn't end Nina, then erasing the video footage should do it. Nope, they won't do it either. She is always up to no good. Well, in her mind, protecting Charlotte is not up to no good. It really isn't. Not that it was good, but look, and as far as some of the stuff Nina's done, that was nothing. And Lisa says Nina broke the law when she erased the video. Hiding evidence of a crime is illegal. Um, and she should go to prison for it. Why Anna kept it off the record, I don't know why. She shouldn't have. I know she should have just said this is out there and this is what happened. And Dante would be going and say, hey Nina, look. Hello there says, on one light note, Yuri always amuses me. He needs more of a story with Dr. Randolph. Me too. I like Yuri. I really, really do. And then P. Merle says Charlotte to play the lead in the bad scene. Victor has nowhere, was nowhere around when she bullied Aiden. That was true. I pray Jake doesn't believe her nonsense about Anna. She still hasn't explained why she was there in the dark, because it was dark, people. Um, does she know who her father really is? Port Charles needs protection from him. Are we talking Valentine? Sassy says the bad seed, LOL, was there. Wait, has there been a remake? Or are you telling your age? Haha. P.S. Who her father really is? Who is that? I know it's Valentine. Um, P. Merle. He's a Cassadine. Who also worked for a rival intelligence agency. He shot Nick and left him for dead. He threatened Spencer when he was a child. He shot Kevin and held half of Portar's hostage in Greece. He instituted a hostile takeover of ELQ to spite Michael for exposing his lies about Sasha. Oh, and he and Nina left Cassandra for dead. I can go on. Why Charlotte thinks her father is some wimp who needs protection from Anna, I will never understand. Oh, that's because you don't let your child know all that bad stuff you could do. Come on now. All right, everybody. I am at 10 minutes. Oh, over 10 minutes with Comment Corner. Thank you for all of the comments on Comment Corner. I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap of General Hospital.